Welcome to the Dawn Edition. Power, wealth, fame uncovered. Every week, we take you deep into the untold stories of South Africa's richest, most powerful, and most controversial figures. From the kingpins to the moguls, the deals, the drama, and the secrets behind the headlines. If it's real, raw, and rising, we cover it here. Subscribe now, and join the empire. New videos every Thursday. This is the Dawn Edition. In the heart of Limpopo's forgotten lands, under the open African sky, a young boy chased cattle across dusty fields, unaware that his footsteps were paving the foundation of one of the greatest property empires South Africa would ever witness. His name? Dr. Mike Nkuna, the man behind malls that uplift entire regions, the visionary behind smart cities in rural villages, and now, a strategic investor in Kaizer Chiefs Football Club. This is no ordinary tale. This is a legacy of billions. A blueprint for township empowerment. A masterclass in patience, vision, and strategy. And on today's episode of the Dawn Edition, we dive into the life, empire, and wealth of one of the richest men to come out of rural South Africa. Make sure to subscribe to the Dawn Edition family, and as always, we ask you to drop your thoughts in the comments. Could you build a billion-rand empire from nothing but vision and hustle? Let's find out how Mike Nkuna did exactly that. Born in Nkuna village near Gioni, Nkuna grew up with no silver spoon. Life was raw and real. He herded cattle, studied under candlelight, and witnessed firsthand the injustice of poverty. He saw that in his community, there were no banks, no malls, no transport systems, just distance and hardship. But even as a teenager, Mike had a different mindset. He saw land as power. He believed his village didn't lack wealth, it lacked infrastructure. That one thought would guide his life forever. After school, he entered construction as a laborer. Day after day, he dug foundations and mixed cement. It wasn't glamorous, but it gave him knowledge. The kind no business school could offer. Comment if you've ever worked a tough job that secretly trained you for something greater. His first investment wasn't in real estate. It was in taxis. He bought his first minibus, then a second, and quickly noticed something that would change everything: the places where people congregated, taxi ranks, clinics, pay points, they had no formal retail. So instead of adding another taxi, Mike bought land around those ranks. He built shops, leased to local spaza owners, added petrol stations. Soon, local government was asking if he'd consider building something bigger. And with that, his empire was born. He didn't build malls in Sandton. He built them in Soweto, Malamulele, Lenasia South, and Gioni. His idea was simple: build where others won't. Serve who others ignore. And this idea worked really well. In 1983, he founded Masingita Property Investment Holdings. Over the years, Masingita grew into a titan. Some of his flagship developments include Jabulani Mall, a massive project that brought dignity and jobs to Soweto. Protea Glen Mall, Moina Mall, Boitumelo Junction, Diepsloot Mall, Bara Mall near the famous Baragwanath Hospital. Masingita Towers in Sandton, proving he could compete in elite spaces too. Each development was a strategic play. Every square meter leased to major brands. Income flowing monthly. If you had the chance to build a mall in your hometown, where would you place it and why? In 2023, Nkuna unveiled the jewel of his empire, Nkuna Kraal Mall in Nkuna village. But it wasn't just a mall. It was part of the ambitious Kuna City smart town. Valued at over 2 billion. Covers housing, education, clinics, office parks, transport, and shopping. Serves over 100 rural villages. This development turned a forgotten rural node into a commercial powerhouse. Tenants included Shoprite, Superspar, Pep, F&B, KFC, and The Roof. Designed to resemble a bull's horns, a tribute to his days herding livestock. Let's break it down. By 2025, Mike Nkuna's personal net worth is estimated between 3 billion and 6.5 billion, according to analysts, business insiders, and financial reports. His rental income alone is staggering. Over 13 shopping centers. Each one home to national brands. Most with long-term lease contracts. He owns the land, the buildings, and the foot traffic. And that means generational cash flow. Unlike flashy tycoons, Nkuna rarely appears in the media. But in silence, he's built one of the most diversified rural property portfolios in the country. What impresses you more, flashy lifestyle or silent empire building? In 2025, Nkuna makes another strategic move. He acquires 37% ownership of Kaizer Chiefs Football Club. Many thought he tried to change leadership. But no. Mike stays in the background. He says, I don't want to run the club. I want to grow it. His goal: youth development, infrastructure, commercial expansion. His stake? Estimated at $120 million to $150 million. That puts Mike Nkuna in the same league as sports moguls and international club investors. He didn't just build malls. He built clinics. He funded bursaries. He started the Mike Nkuna Charitable Trust. He gave school shoes to over 5,000 learners, funded a clinic in Kuzana, and sponsored rural students to study civil engineering and architecture. In 2024, he received an honorary doctorate from UNISA, recognizing his role in reshaping the economic narrative of Limpopo and the townships. He believes in empowering the forgotten. So, what can we learn from Dr. Mike Nkuna? That you don't need to come from wealth to build it. That silence can be louder than noise. That infrastructure creates wealth. And most importantly, that legacy is built, not bought. So, we leave you with this. Drop a comment. Do you think Nkuna is the most underrated billionaire in Africa? Hit that like button. Subscribe to the Dawn Edition family. Share this video with someone who needs to hear a real story of black excellence. And
to be where you are today, how difficult was it to navigate or get financed to start the business that you are currently pioneering in South Africa, and especially in a time where it was not dominated by non-blacks?
Well, you've asked a very good question. As you know, that black people in South Africa were not allowed to own houses or any entitlement for that matter, because what the system had designed was that black people can only rent from the municipalities. So after the 1976 uprising, that's when the government of the day realized that they had to start considering black people as people and give them some form of dignity in allowing them to have bonded houses, whereby they even instructed the bank to give bonds to black people. And that's when I started as a subcontractor to companies such as Mary and Robert and Grenica and Stocks. So that's how I started, and fortunately I was able to identify a site in Shawela. That's where I started with my first organized shopping center. And after I've acquired that site from the municipality, BP Oil Company wanted to buy that site, and I said no, I'm not prepared to sell the site. And they then changed the tune and say they will finance me. And when they put on paper what they promised to finance me, it was unbelievable. And I was able to take their offer to Shell, and Shell was able to offer me better, and I was able to go back to BP, and BP then said, you're too clever for us, you are ahead of time, therefore today you have to sign without going out of that door. And after that, I was able to quantify how much it would cost to put up that center, and I realized that there was a shortfall of 1.5 million, and I went to Volkskas Bank, which was deemed to be the Bruder Bond Bank only, that way financing white people. But you see, they declined my loan, and I challenged them, because I understood how to mitigate business there. So maybe I was a bit ahead of time, and they ended up giving me a bond of 1.5 million in 1983, and there was an outcry out there that a black person has broken the bank.
Video on the left corner of your screen to learn about another African billionaire shaping the continent's future. Because here, we don't chase gossip. We document power. This is the Dawn Edition. And we're just getting started. Disclaimer, this video is based on publicly available information, media articles, and verified reports as of 2025. All net worth figures are approximate estimates. The content is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial or legal advice.